to date. I've seen coaches at fairly high levels do that, and it's no surprise that the results don't happen for them. About not giving too much information, I guess that's, you know, you've got to give them the skills, you've got to give them as much as you can. But I think what that point means is not trying to do 2 or 3 different skills at once, or not starting from players who are at this level and trying to ask them to do a complex skill straight away. There are a lot of things that you can build on to get to that point, and it might be little steps at a time. Formations, and I'll show you some examples of how you can use those different formations. Hopefully today you might be able to contribute as well and give me some advice. I'm happy to take advice from people. As I said, I know there's some really good people in here who have probably got more experience at playing level than what I have, and may have good ideas, and that's something as a coach you shouldn't be afraid of, is taking on advice. So you know, you've all worked with grids, I'm sure. I'll show you some things that I use in the grids. Tabloids, I probably don't use those for a circuit quite as much. We'd probably do that more in a conditioning session or in a warm-up, where we might have, on Saturday we had a club session on, and we had 4 different warm-up drills that went for 6 minutes each, and the players just moved through those, so they had 25 minutes of different skills. It was more designed to be a warm-up activity rather than be a skill learning thing. Talking about technique and skill, again, I'll let you read through that, but it's so much wasted reading for you. The dilemma, again, it probably comes back to your coaching philosophy. If you can see a player has a certain way of doing things, should you correct it if he's still successful? And I guess that's got to the point where we specify players that we look at players now and say, oh, they're a left side player, a right side player. Can a player play on either side of the field? Any thoughts there?
I reckon they can. It depends what happens at that certain age. If there's things that they want to get adjusted.
Yeah.
Coaches to find all those things.
Yeah. One of the kids from this team, he could not play on the left side of the field. He got the footy, stuck in his right hand, and he was away. On the right side of the field he was fine because he had some evasion, he had a fend, a bump. But on the other side of the field he couldn't do anything because he was trying to beat people on the outside, but he was running into touch or he had no evasion. So that, you know, when we look back on, as a coach, we probably need to say, hang on, get out there, carry the ball in your left hand, that's all you're allowed to do for the session. He was very successful on the right side of the field at that age group, but as he got older, in competition with other players for positions, and he may have been the one who had to move to the other side of the field, he was unsuccessful in doing that. So to give your players an opportunity to play, and you know, not be locked into being a right side back rower, not to be locked into being a certain right winger or left winger. I think as they get older and as they progress to the highest level, then yes, there may be some reason for doing that. But as a coach of a young player, I think we have a responsibility to give them every opportunity to learn and to not lock them out because they can't do it. And I guess conversely with that point there is, should you correct technique? Yeah, I think you should try to. I believe you should try to. Some players won't be able to. I think I read when I did my lecture, it was a level 3, how many years ago. Steve Brown did one of the lectures, and I think it was I spoke about skill learning. I think it was it takes around 400 hours for you to learn a skill from it to being something that's totally foreign to being something that you can do automatically and progressing through those various stages of learning. When you think about 400 hours, it's a hell of a long time for someone to learn something. And again, I guess another example of that would be we get players to our club who I know, there may be another club and they haven't got the same way of catching the footy, or probably the best example would be tackle technique, where we're pretty strong on making sure we get right leg, right shoulder, getting into position, getting into a certain spot, making that tackle. Where some clubs are the opposite way around. We've done studies on it. I think it's been proven, and that's why we do it. It's a more stable position and all those sorts of things. But it's not to say that it can't be successful doing the other way. And rugby league being a dynamic game means that you've got to use different tackles, like we mentioned before about the tackle selection thing. There may be times when you just got to do your best and get in and grab and hold on. The technique will have to go out of the window. So being a dynamic game rugby league, we need to cater for that. Game sense approach, what basically that is about is trying to make it, put it into a context where the players have some form of competition, and I know that as soon as you put competition into any of your activity, or any of my activities, I know that the intensity level lifts a little bit. Rugby league players being rugby league players, if they're going to be successful, they don't like to lose. You need to be conscious that the technique or the skill doesn't get forgotten in those situations. This is about feedback, this slide, in terms of what sort of feedback do you give to your players, and again, the evidence tells us is that KR, or knowledge of results, that might be how many times did you hit the spot on the target. You give them 10 shots, they hit it 6 times. For a beginning player, from a player who is younger or less skilled, that is probably going to be more effective sorts of feedback for those players. Whereas a skilled player who's got the skills under control, who's playing at a high level, the knowledge of performance, where you might show some video, sit down, what do you reckon about that? You've got your head in the right position. So it's not so much the results, it's about how they've done it. So if you're working with a player at a higher level, your feedback needs to be adjusted to that. And players at the higher level will be looking for knowledge of KP, knowledge of performance. So how did it happen? What did I do right? What did I do wrong? Whereas a younger player will probably be looking at, did I get 10 goals? You know, I've got resources through the footy club where it's not a major task for me to pull out an edit, like I showed you a little while ago, just to sit a player down and show him 2 minutes worth of tape to explain to him that your positioning in that particular play may need to be improved. For most of us, though, it's a difficult thing. Video of your game. Heads up if you do. So again, already half of us are knocked out of the equation because we haven't got the video footage. So you need to become resourceful. Maybe get a sucker parent or someone who's very keen, who's got a video camera, and get them to do. It might be we do a video of one player. In the last couple of years, we just follow a player for one game, and that would, it doesn't have to be the whole game. You might give him 10 minutes worth. And that would be enough to give him some feedback as an individual. As a team, it's a little bit different because you've got to get the whole footage of the team. But if you're trying to improve an individual, that's an easy way to do it. And even today with video cameras and our access to them, it's much easier than what it used to be. But access to be able to give that feedback is important. The higher the player, the more they're interested in it, or the higher level that they're playing it. I think most of them will find that they're much more interested. Basics as a coach, you can apply, you should apply. I'm sure that you wouldn't be here if they weren't part of what you're doing already. If you're not doing most of it. These are the advanced skills, I think, in terms of, not even advanced skills, they're the skills that we need to be aware of. Catch, grip, carry, with carry. In a certain, I guess, in a very prescribed way. I spoke about the 6 o'clock pass, the catch. use key terms like just make a TV screen or something to get their hands up in front of their body. So they're actually, rather than on their chest. And it's come back to that split second. And it's not